Yoga-Size has really increased my flexibility. I was in a very bad plane wreck in 1992. Prior to that, I was a power lifter for many, many years, so I have a lot of strength and a lot of natural strength. But what I didn't have was a lot of flexibility, and I didn't have a lot of stamina as well. And after the wreck, I had a lot of stored up stress in my muscles, especially in my lower back and in my neck. And what Yoga-Size has done for me has allowed me to regain that flexibility I had prior to the accident.
By incorporating Yoga-Size into my workout routine, I've had to replace some other workouts because you only have so much time in the day. I can't just add another half hour on every several days. I have to replace a few other things and modify, change my workout schedule a little bit. But by doing so, I haven't lost anything. I mean, I've really maintained the strength in my legs, in my shoulders, in my chest, and it's been great. I mean, I think for me that's been a big surprise because I guess I was afraid that by switching my focus and going to a flexibility-based routine that I would, perhaps suffer, but it's been great.
I wasn't really looking for weight loss, but I was looking to be toned because as we get older, sometimes we tend to gain a little extra weight here and there, or clothes just don't fit, even though we may weigh the same. But I find that I'm maintaining my size, and that makes me very happy at my age.
Now, what I like about the Yoga-Size and why I recommend it to people is that it's very concise, it's very short, it's not so hard that I can't do it, and yet it's challenging enough that each time I do it I have to strain a little bit more to make sure that I'm doing the movements a little bit deeper, and I just continue to increase in my strength and flexibility. It's a great program.
Hello, I'm Gail Getzweiler, and welcome to Yoga-Size, your connection to strength, flexibility, balance, health, and vitality. Many of us are searching for that perfect way to stay in shape, lose weight, and relieve stress. I have created this unique Yoga-Size workout program just for you. Everyone in this video is performing to his or her fitness level, so look for alternatives where a posture seems too advanced for you. We will be working on Navajo rugs in place of yoga mats in this video, but we're staying safe and relaxed using the uniquely designed Yoga-Size paws on our hands and feet.
We're pretty happy with yoga paws. We were kind of brainstorming one day about what to do instead of yoga pads, since they're kind of cumbersome and you have to take them with you wherever you go. And it just occurred to me that we could have portable paws on our hands and feet, and if they were gripping, we could use them anywhere. You could use them outside or indoors. I think it's a great idea, and I hope everybody will enjoy them and use them as much as we have.
So prepare for a relaxing, energizing, and strengthening workout. I'm confident you'll be happy with the results. Welcome to session 1 of Yoga-Size. Let's begin by relaxing, coming to the end of our mat. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side, the hips, legs are about hip distance apart, reaching through the fingertips, opening the shoulders, rotating the hands up to the ceiling, reaching the thumbs to the floor behind you. Rotating the shoulders, inhale, reach up, extend through the fingertips, tightening the hips slightly as we arch back. Reach up, come forward, exhaling forward, and coming into head to knee posture, and relax forward, taking note of where the body is in this head to knee position, how flexible we are, how tight we might be in certain areas, and just remember this when we come back to this position at the end of the sequence. Feel if there's any tightness in the position and how far your hands are from the floor, if you're touching the floor or if you're extended up. Going to activate the arms, bringing the hands to the floor, taking the weight off of the legs, right leg comes back into lunge. And relax into the lunge using the breath. Inhale, think of the muscles that are tight, relaxing. Exhale, feel the muscles relax in response to your suggestions. Activate the legs, bringing the arms forward and up into warrior pose. Breathe. Inhale, reach up and come forward. Lower the right knee to the floor and the left foot to the floor. Deep breath. Activate the legs again, reaching the arms forward and up. Inhale, reach the arms up, reaching through the fingertips as you come forward. Straighten the front leg, reversing the stretch. Nice stretch through the quadricep, lengthening the muscles, using the breath again. Deep breaths. You let your head come forward and relax, opening up the spine, space between the vertebrae, opening up the rib cage. Exhale, come forward, bending the right foot up, taking hold of the foot for a quadricep stretch. And relax the foot back. Straight legs up into straight leg lunge, hips up. And relax forward. Nice deep breaths. Again, letting the head be heavy as you relax. I'm going to activate the arms, bringing the left foot off of the floor and to the back. And then raise that left leg up to the ceiling into three-legged dog. Really reach through the fingertips to the toes, elongating through the spine. Now lower the left hip slightly so the hips are parallel. Bringing the left knee through to the chest and through to the floor to pigeon. And breathe deeply. Relax. Shoulders are relaxed. Nice deep breath. Opening up the lower chakras, the energy moving through the body. Coming forward over the front knee. Relaxing, right arm forward, left arm forward, and stretch. Really stretch out through the back, massaging the internal organs. Relaxing the head. Feel the ribs at the back open as you breathe deeply. Right hand back and left hand back. Lifting up slightly. One vertebra at a time, back into pigeon, shoulders are relaxed. Curl the toes under behind you, reach the hips up to the ceiling, back into three-legged dog. Breathe, don't forget to breathe, elongating through the back, lower the right hip slightly so the hips are parallel, nice stretch through the standing leg, both feet to the floor. Into downward facing dog. And really elongate through the spine, hips up to the ceiling, shoulders reaching to the floor. Deep breaths. Bringing the knees to the floor and coming back into child's pose. And really stretch forward, relaxing. Massaging the internal organs as you breathe deeply and feel the ribs open at the back. Take a deep breath. And now as we exhale, we'll come up into cat posture, chin to your chest. Hips are tucked in, arching the back up. Hips come forward, elbows in tight. Tighten the hips, pushing them into the floor as you come up into cobra. And arching up into reverse cat. Child's pose. Exhaling as we come up into reverse cat. Chin to chest, hips come forward. Into cobra. This sequence is also called the swan. This wave-like motion of the body. The movement of the spine, back into child's pose, and arching up, exhale, cat pose. This time as we come forward into cobra, curl the toes under behind you, raise up into cobra, and continue straighten the arms, Come up into upward facing dog and relax. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lift the hips up to the ceiling into downward facing dog. Again, elongate the spine. Don't forget to breathe. Bringing the right leg forward into right leg lunge. And we'll repeat the postures on the other side now. Always wanting to balance in yoga, activate the legs. Bringing the arms forward into warrior. Nice strengthening and balancing pose. Inhale, reach up and come forward. Lower the left knee and the left foot and relax using the breath. Nice deep breaths. Relax into the pose, feel the muscles respond. Inhale, activate the legs and come round and up into half moon posture. Relaxing the shoulders, taking a deep breath. Reach the fingers up and come forward. Relaxing, straightening the front leg, reversing the lunge. Nice stretch at the back of the leg. Try to lengthen the muscles using the breath. If you relax over the leg, you can get an opening through the spinal cord, opening up the vertebra at the back. And come forward, bending the right knee over the right foot. Lift the left foot up for quadricep stretch. Nice deep breaths. Release. Foot back to the floor, curl the toes under and come up to straight leg lunge. And relax over the front leg. Nice deep breaths. Activate the hands and the arms, bringing the right foot back. And then raising the right leg up into three-legged dog. Again, elongate through the back, through the shoulders, lifting the hips up, shoulders come down. Lower the right hip so that both hips come parallel. Bring the right knee through to the chest and then through to the floor and relax in pigeon. Nice deep breath. Relax the shoulders. Coming forward over the front leg. Right arm comes forward, left arm comes forward, and stretch. Nice deep breaths. Lubricate the internal organs. Feel the ribs open at the back as you breathe deeply, moving breath and fresh oxygen into all of the lobes of the lungs. Right hand back, left hand back under the shoulder, and slowly come back up into pigeon. Shoulders are relaxed. Curl the toes under behind you and lift the hips up to the ceiling. Right leg up. Relax. Lower the right hip. Both feet come to the floor into downward facing dog. And really stretch. Let's move the feet wide apart this time. And really elongate, wag the dog. Really relax in the stretch. Don't forget to breathe. Let the head relax down. Make sure there's no tension in the head. Let's bring the right hand back and the left hand back, slowly walking back to the feet. So the weight is on the feet. Bring the toes together, heels together, toes together until your feet are underneath the hips in good alignment for head to knee posture. And now think about where we were when we started the routine. Place your hands inside your elbows if your hands are on the floor and just relax forward. Nice deep breaths, relax. Feel the diaphragm expand with the inhale. And take note of the flexibility and lengthening of your body from the beginning to the end of the sequence. The head is loose and relaxed. kind of a natural traction for the spinal cord. The weight of the head, the weight of the arms gently opens up the vertebra, creating space. Take a deep breath, and as we exhale, let's give the right leg a hug. And we'll give the left leg a hug. Coming back to center. Take a deep breath. Exhale, arms to relax down. Gently roll up, tucking at the hips. Rolling up one vertebra at a time. Don't forget to breathe. Relaxing with the breath. Shoulders come up, and the head comes up last. And let's relax, step to the middle of the mat, and just relax the shoulders down. And let's bring the shoulders up to the ears. Really tighten through the shoulders, bring extra blood flow in. Shoulder blades to the back, opening, bringing blood flow to the top of the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Shoulders down, reaching toward the floor, really elongating from the ears to the shoulders. Bring the arms forward, opening the back, open the shoulder blades, and then reaching the arms around, giving ourselves a yoga hug. And if you can reach around, you can massage the shoulder blades with the tips of the shoulder blades. And then relax, bring the arms down to the side. Just relax into your bones, legs are loose, pelvis is slightly tilted, back is straight, and head is light. And just breathe and relax. It's kind of like a standing savasana. Breathing deeply. And this is the end of session 1. Continue breathing and relaxing. If you're leaving us now, open our hands wide to the side. Bring the hands over the heart. Namaste. And welcome to session 2. We'll begin by bringing our feet a little more than hip distance apart. Inhale, bringing the arms up to the side and stretching, reaching through the fingertips, palms to the ceiling, reaching the thumbs behind you, and raise the arms up above the head to the ceiling. Intertwine the fingers and elongate the body. We're going to work the oblique muscles as we inhale and exhale, lowering to the left, body forward, and exhale, bringing the body around. And inhale, raise up, lengthening and strengthening the oblique muscles. And we'll repeat this 5 times on each side. Inhaling up and exhaling as we come around and come forward. And this is number 3. This is also good for getting rid of that spare tire. We're using the stomach muscles. We're using the lateral oblique muscles. And we're opening up and lubricating the hips. And number 5, relax. Exhale, going to the other side and around. In yoga, we always want to balance what we do on the left, we want to do on the right. Repeating and using the breath. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Stretch up and relax the hands to your side. And take a few deep breaths, relaxing. Feet are coming together underneath the hips. Take a few deep breaths. And we'll continue. We'll grab a bandana. On the set, Wayne has a belt because he wants his arms further apart. If you're at home, you don't have anything handy, go to the kitchen and grab a towel. We want our feet hip distance apart. We're going to raise the arms behind us. Your hands can be palms up or down, depending on your comfort. And lift the arms up behind you into chest expander. And relax into the pose. You'll be drawing tension to the upper shoulder area, bringing extra blood flow into the area. Take a deep breath, and as we exhale, we'll bend at the hips, coming forward. Relaxing into head to knee posture. This is also called umbrella, kind of like an umbrella that's open and upside down. Lifting the head into the nape of the neck. So we're bringing extra tension into that area where we hold lots of stress, trying to release it. Using the breath, don't forget to breathe. And now exhale and relax the head down to the floor. And really relax through the shoulders. Nice deep breaths to help you relax. Now we're going to lift the arms up, bringing the shoulder blades together behind you. Arms behind the hips, and then down to the floor. And that's all we need the bandana for. And we'll relax into head to knee posture as we did in session 1. Nice deep breaths, opening up the back, relaxing. Bringing the hands to the mat, activating the arms, taking the weight off of the feet. Right leg comes back, left leg comes back into plank pose. So adjust your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. The feet are relaxed. You're on your toes. And for the next movement, we're going to do yoga push-ups. And you can do them from the toes, or you can lower your knees to the floor and do them from the top of your knees. We'll inhale as we lower to the floor, and exhale as we push up. And we'll repeat this 5 times. And you may find that you can't do one, but as you go and repeat this exercise, you'll find very soon you'll be able to do 5 with us, strengthening the upper body. One more time, inhale down, exhale up, coming back on your knees into child's pose. And relax and stretch. Opening the back. Feeling the ribs open, relaxing. And we'll come forward, back onto our hands and knees. This time, place the hands so the fingers face each other. Again, the arms are straight, hands underneath the shoulders. On the knees this time as we do 5 more push-ups. Inhaling down and exhaling up. This time I want you to concentrate on working the pectoral muscles. So as you come up, you accentuate the work at the front, in the pecs, and the back opens. The shoulder blades come apart. And this is 5. Coming back into child's pose and relax and stretch. Coming back up onto our hands and knees, we'll work the hamstrings, and I want you to think of connecting with the right hamstring. Activate and tighten the muscle and slowly raise it up to the ceiling. And then release. Kind of an isometric move. Activate, tighten, lift, and release. Tighten and lift, and release. Really connect the mind with the muscle, activating it. Release. One last time. This time hold it, hold it, hold it, and release back to the floor. Activating the left hamstring, tightening as we raise. And release. And tighten and raise. And release. And tighten. Kind of like you have a little electric synapse going from the brain to your muscle, making it work. One last time and hold. And release. And come back onto the heels into child's pose again. Relax for a moment. And we'll come up, bring our feet around in front of us, and come to the center of our mat. And we'll come back for yoga sit-ups. Feet are flat to the floor. We want to tuck the hips up. Push the lower back to the floor. Hands intertwine your fingers behind the head. And take a deep breath. Now as you exhale, I want you to lift the head and the shoulders off of the floor. This is kind of an isometric movement. You're lifting the hips up, tightening the buttocks, pushing the lower back to the floor. The head is relaxed and heavy into the hands. Open the shoulder blades so the upper body is relaxed. Use the breath. As you inhale, think of tightening those stomach muscles, and as you exhale, really push. Tighten the stomach muscles, push the lower back into the floor. Activate those muscles. Continue to breathe. And then relax back to the floor. And take a deep breath. And with the next exhale, we're going to come up again, isolating the right lateral stomach muscle. The head will be heavy, relaxed, upper body relaxed. Hips are up, buttocks is tight, pushing the lower back to the floor. Be sure the head is relaxed. And as you breathe, really make the stomach muscles work on the right as you exhale and push the lower back to the floor, opening the shoulder blades. Lots to think about. But you bring it all together and we really strengthen those stomach muscles. Coming back to center. Take a deep breath and relax. And now with the next exhale, we'll lift and isolate the left stomach muscle. And again, lifting up the hips, tightening the buttocks, the head and the heavy. The head is heavy in the arms. Shoulders are open. The mind-body connection, locate that left lateral stomach muscle. It's in there somewhere and you can make it work. Using the breath, isolating, and pushing the lower back into the floor really helps. Lower back to the floor. And let's raise the arms overhead and stretch. Lower the right leg to the floor and just elongate and stretch the right side of the body. Left leg to the floor, elongate, and stretch the left side of the body. The next exercise is called the pump. Arms are reaching overhead. Activate the arms. Tighten the elbows together and really stretch the arms overhead, lengthening the body, making space between the vertebrae. Now we're going to tighten the hips, push the lower back into the floor, raise both legs up to the ceiling, and lift the hips up, hips back to the floor, arms to the side. Bend the knees, legs lower to the right. Exhaling as you lower, inhale as you come up, exhale to the left. Inhale up, straighten the legs, arms back overhead. Reach the hips up and lower the legs, activating the arms so you have balance, pushing the hips into the floor, lifting up and down, arms to the side. This time, if you want to lower with straight legs, you can do that, or with bent knees. And to the left, and back up straight, arms overhead, lifting the hips up, lower, balance and breathe as you work, lifting the legs up, hips up, arms to the side. Lower to the right, exhale. Back to center and left. This is called the pump because we're pumping extra oxygen and blood into the thoracic area, pumping new oxygenated blood through the body with the movement. Arms to the side, lower to the right, and back up straight. and lower to the left. Back to center. Arms overhead, activate as you lift the hips. This time as we come down, we're going to work the lower abdomen. So the arms are reaching, right leg down, just a scissor, lower back pushing to the floor. 3, one more time, right leg up and left leg up, and bring the legs straight to center. And now open the legs apart into a V. If you want a little more stretch, put the hands on top of the legs and relax. And let's bring the hands on the outside of the legs to help bring them back to center. And we're going to go into the next movement, which is called spinal rock. So we'll bring the legs over the head, hips up, arching the back as we come forward, lubricating the spine one vertebra at a time, exhaling up and inhaling back. And go slowly so that you don't force the movement, really be protective of the neck area. And on the next roll, backwards, we'll lift the hips up for an inverted posture called half candle. Hands are underneath the hips. Relax the shoulders. Breathe deeply. And you can also modify this position as Wayne is doing, using a belt across the feet to help him relax with just the feet up off of the floor. The legs are straight. And you can also do this up against a wall if you need to relax. This is a great, simple inverted posture. And for those that are lifted up into candle, let the legs lower behind you. Releasing the hands, placing the hands on top of the legs, opening the shoulders, and slowly lowering down one vertebra at a time. And the hips come to the floor, legs come around, and feet come down to the floor. And we've been moving in a forward bending position, and now we need to reverse. So we'll move the spine in the opposite direction, hands to the floor. Slowly tuck the hips up and raise one vertebra at a time off of the floor, lifting the hips up, using the muscles through the hamstrings and through the buttocks. Intertwine the fingers, rotate the shoulders away from the ears. And really extend the hips up to the ceiling, bringing the knees in close to the chest, relaxing the shoulders open. A nice stretch for the lower spine. Release the hands, release the shoulders. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Relaxing and breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And one more arched posture to arch and stretch the upper neck area. We're going to come up onto our elbows, and you can also come up onto straight arms and lift the heart to the ceiling and let the head relax back. Nice deep breath. And then bring the head up. Relax back to the mat. Bringing the knees into the chest and gently rock from side to side. And our final posture is the twist. We'll look to the left, bringing the arms out to the side, and lift your hips and move them to the left, and then relax the knees to the right. And I want you to think of your spine being on a straight axis, and the vertebrae are rotating around that axis. And breathe deeply. If you want a little more stretch, you can straighten your right leg onto the floor. And sometimes I'll put my hand on top of the knee for a little extra twist. And breathe deeply and relax. Nice deep breaths. And we'll release back to center, knees back to center, hips and head and shoulders. And take a deep breath. Look to the right this time and balance, bringing the hips up and moving them to the right, and then moving the hips to the left. The shoulders can be flat to the floor. If your shoulder raises up a little bit, don't worry about it. If you want to straighten your leg, you can do that, or keep the knees together and just relax in the posture. It's always good to relax in the posture so there's no strain. And if you don't take the movement all the way to the peak, that's okay. Just go to your skill level, your fitness level, to your flexibility level. And then we'll come back to center, bringing the hips to center, shoulders and head. Bringing the knees up, hands on top of the knees. We're going to lubricate the lower pelvic area, taking the knees around about 3 times in each direction, really lubricating all the way around the lower spinal column and into the pelvis and the sacrum. And one more time around, and then back to center, knees into the chest, rock from side to side. And we'll finish with some more spinal rocks. Feet up, hips up, and gently rocking. Exhale back and inhale forward, rounding the back, really opening the shoulder blades so each vertebra has a chance to be lubricated. One more time back and forward, and we'll come to a seated position. Take a deep breath, the shoulders relax. The head feels light. And let's lower the left ear to the left shoulder. And reach the right hand to the floor beside you. A nice stretch and lengthening through the right side of the neck. Relax the left shoulder down. And coming back to center. Right ear to the right shoulder. Left hand reaches out. And coming back to center. And let's lower the chin to the chest. The back stays straight. Nice stretch through the back of the neck. And then gently lift up, reaching the chin up to the ceiling. And then taking the hands at the base of the neck, stretching and lengthening at the front of the neck. And then releasing, bringing the chin back down. Fingers and thumbs touching as we complete the flow of energy, the energy connection as we relax. Take deep breaths, deep yoga breaths. Feel the energy moving through the body. Feel the lightness, the openness at the back, space between the vertebrae. And take this feeling of lightness with us throughout the day or into the evening. And thank you for joining us. Open your hands wide. And coming together over the heart. Namaste.